How we going, guys? Mick here from Knob Cartel, back with another kick-ass, well, it's not a beer review, this one is an unboxing of the latest pack coming from Stone and Wood Brewing Company. So we know recently these guys went through a little bit of hardship, particularly with the floods, like many others sort of up north around the Lismore area and places like where these guys are situated. So from sort of Queensland down, they've experienced some really bad flooding. There's quite a few breweries that have been hit pretty hard by those floods. Two Mates was one of those ones who are relatively new in starting out and were hit pretty hard as well. So try and support those guys. They've got a bit of a GoFundMe thing going on at the moment, as will quite a few others. But this one's about Stone and Wood. So Stone and Wood, as we know, recently also sold out to one of the big conglomerates, but that's not stopping a lot of us from hanging in there and supporting these guys. They're still doing some really good things. They still are at the top of the chain when it comes to pretty much one of the most purchased beers on the market, being their Pacific Ale. So is still selling quite well. It's still up there with well within the top 100 beers, Australian beers all round. So anyway, so they've sent out a pack. Now, I didn't take much notice of the post that went up on social media, but I did take a little bit of notice that it's going to be a mixed six-pack. So whether it's a mix of 6 across their core range, or it's a combination of a couple of their core range beers. These guys are still doing, like I said, I mentioned, they're still doing some really good things, particularly with their collaboration with their counterculture beers. It's particularly in supporting the companies outside of the brewing industry, and those companies also supporting back, which is really good. So we'll crack this one open. We'll see what we've got. Now, it's obviously got some glass in there. Recently, Stone and Wood received a bit of backlash about the way they package their beers, particularly their glass offerings, and they probably should do a little bit better. I agree with that. I've not yet had a package turned up that's been damaged. Maybe it was one of the first ones that did. It never made it to me. It was actually picked up at the depot of Aramex, and obviously returned back to Stone and Wood, and then a new package was sent out, which was really good, and included in that the replacement pack was a thing to say. I was sorry that you had to wait that little bit longer, but they are fair dinkumly very good with the general public, and make sure they replace things, and they try to, within reason, within their capabilities, get those packs back out if they've been damaged or if something's gone amiss. These guys are always really good. Wendy, big shout out to Wendy at Stone and Wood. She takes care of all those sorts of things, and gets those problems fixed for us. So in the pack, we've got a bit of a flyer. The flyer says bonus mixed pack. March is the time not to be parched. That's why we're shooting over this bonus mix pack while we wait for the next counterculture to be brewed to perfection. Loving the countercultures. While you wet your whistle on our classics, take a look at the Beer Club calendar for 2022, which lists all the brews you can expect on your doorstep this year. Be sure to check your inbox for our monthly Beer Club newsletter filled with very good stuff. So they're always up to date on sending out those emails, letting you know what's available, be it merch, beers coming up, packs, any sort of beer gustations, things going on within the breweries, things going on within the tap rooms and so forth. So here at the bottom it's telling us what to expect within those months. So January obviously had the Crop Circles in January, which was a really good beer, working alongside a clothing company that makes everything out of hemp. So that's good. So we then March we get the bonus pack, which is this one here that they're telling us about, or they're sending us out now. April we'll see another counterculture yet to be announced. June we will see the Stone Beer return. Always looking forward to that. All my Crocs actually being stored away. I've received quite a few others too, just picked up along the way from those people who aren't really into the dark beers. So I do have a few people who are members of the beer club, along with myself, who don't drink the dark beers. So I end up just purchasing the for the cost of the product back from those guys. August we'll see also another counterculture beer. October counterculture beer, in November another counterculture beer. So plenty of counterculture beers going on in the beer club. So it's well worth the $15 a cycle. So $15 for every pack that's sent out. And as mentioned, quite a few people who dropped off on the subscription. Their main complaint was that you always miss out a cycle or two through their releases, so you're paying money for nothing. But in saying that, you do get your little trinkets and sort of gifts along the way that come with some of these releases. I think it's well worth it. It's well worth it for the fact that you can go out and you can purchase, like we've got now. They've sent out a 6-pack, so that 6-pack would cost you anywhere between $25 to $30 anyway. So when you weigh that up, these guys have sent it out to you, so they've absorbed the cost of the postage. They've also sent out a 6-pack for the cost of the subscription payment of $15. Can't go wrong. So for those who complained about it, what's the complaint for? I don't know, but anyway. So we'll pull this one out. See what we got. So, well, by the looks of it, the 6-pack only contains 3 beers and 2 of each. So, straight up, as we were talking, the Pacific Ale. Yeah, so another Pacific Ale. Middle section, yeah, the Green Coast Lager. Another Green Coast Lager, and the Cloudcatcher, which is another one of my favourites, core range beers. Really enjoyed getting these in their 500ml bottles. Those 500ml bottles also become quite handy for the home brewing here. So that's basically it. Oh, what's that? Oh, there we go. A bottle opener. So talking about trinkets and gifts that come along with these sorts of things. A Stone & Wood Brewing Company bottle opener. That's a nice solid bottle opener, that one. Good size. That's one of my favourite shapes, those ones. Malt Shovel brought out one of those particular, there's one right here, actually hanging off one of my home brew bottles. They brung out the Malt Shovel Brewery, James Squire, and these had a registration number of some sort, maybe a member number of some sort on there. So they must have been doing something very similar with theirs. We do have the key rings that they send out. Those key rings are also available, not available, but are not just a key ring, they are your token to the beer club. So if you go to any of those outlets where Stone & Wood has their tap rooms and the brew pubs and so forth, you flash that key ring, and that gets you discount for your purchases. So that's that's a multi-purpose key ring, that one. That's awesome. Really chuffed with that. So Max, they'd probably sell for anywhere between $5 and $15 on a website, so more value there. Looking forward to the next counterculture, as mentioned. So that's really good. Some people might not like the fact that it's just a standard 6-pack, and then would have actually been good to still get maybe even a couple of them the same, but we just had 2 that was something different. So maybe that low alcohol sour that I was talking about, and a Stone Beer, the Stone Beer Stubby would have been good too. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm quite chuffed with what I got. As bonus is good. What more can you ask for? The guys have been really, really good, and the fact that they're getting these out so quick whilst they're going through what they're going through with the floods, big cheers to Stone and Wood. Big cheers from me.